Okay, so then the third speaker, will be Shu. Yeah, Shu is currently a researcher at Palo Alto Networks. He just graduated from George Mason. And he's been working on a lot of things, software security, IoT security, AI security. Because today he's going to talk about defense, right, against this spectrum reduction attack. Yeah, take the stage.
Hi everyone, I'm Shu Wang. It's my pleasure to present our paper, Compensating Removed Frequency Component Thwarting Voice Spectrum Reduction Attack. This work is done by me, my PhD advisor, Dr. Kun Sun, and Dr. Qi Li from Tsinghua University. Automatic speech recognition, short for ASR, can transcript spoken language into text, and it's widely used in multiple areas. For example, you will use ASR when you wake up your smart home devices at your home, and you may use ASR when you navigate, use your Siri in your Apple Maps, and you can use ASR when to get the live caption when you start a Zoom meeting with your colleagues. However, as we know, the automatic speech recognition is vulnerable to virus malicious voice attack, like voice conversion attack, voice synthesis attack, adversarial attack. But many attacks try to manipulate the frequency spectrum to achieve different attack goals. For example, attackers can manipulate the spectrum magnitude with a specific filter to launch the modification attack. And the attacker also can add some additional frequency component out of the voice bound to launch the spectrum addition attack. Also, the attackers can remove some frequency component where their frequency magnitude are under a threshold to launch a reduction attack. The previous two attacks can be defended by several solutions. For example, utilize time domain features or use a band pass filters. But for the spectrum reduction attack, there was no effective method because of the invertible information loss. So let's look into the spectrum reduction attack. This attack is based on the hypothesis that the ASR system rely on some frequency components that are non-essential for human comprehension. So attackers can use decompensation algorithms like the digital Fourier transform to decompose the original signal into multiple frequency components with different frequency values. And they can set a threshold. And if some frequency component, their magnitude is under this threshold, they can drop them and use the remaining one to reconstruct the audio. And they will test the ASR transcription of the modified audio. And if the transcription is still correct, they will increase the threshold until the ASR can misinterpret the modified audio. So after this attack, this modified audio cannot be interpreted by the ASR system, but can still be perceived by our human beings. So for the impact, as we know, many social media platforms usually use a content moderation system to pre-screen and filter out harmful information on the internet. For example, the misinformation or the violence information. However, with the spectrum reduction attack, malicious influencer can post and spread the videos and audios containing restricted speech to the online users, to the public audience, without triggering any content alert in the content moderation system. And that is because some sensitive information within the audio tracks cannot be detected by the machine-based ASR system, but can be still perceived by our humans and can be spread to the public audience. So based on this background, we proposed an acoustic compensation system named ACE system. This is an overview of our system, and we aim to input the modified malicious audio into our system, and when the audio goes through this system, the output audio can be recognized by the automatic speech recognition system. And this system contains 3 modules. The first module is a spectrum compensation module that aims to recover the deleted component based on the existing one. And the second module is a noise addition module and tend to improve the voice recognition robustness by adding some small perturbations. And we also introduce a adaptation module to estimate the attacker's parameter and adjust our system parameter to achieve the better performance. So to defeat the spectrum reduction attack, an intuitive idea is to recover the deleted component based on the existing one. So we design the spectrum compensation module. This module is based on the observation that frequency component with similar frequency values usually have high correlations. And this dependency are derived from 2 effects in the digital signal processing. One is a spectrum leakage effect caused by the signal truncation in the DFT computation. And one is an aliency effect that caused by signal undersampling. And this only occur in low sampling rate devices. So in this module, we first shift the attacked spectrum forward and backward by several DFT units, and then scale the shifted spectrum with a scaling factor. And finally, we estimate the original spectrum by aggregating all the scaled shifted spectrum. So we can get this equation. If we expand this equation from F0 to Fn-1 in the DFT spectrum, we can get the matrix form of this equation with a Hankel matrix. And if we have enough data, we can have the original spectrum and also the attacked spectrum. So what we only need is to calculate the scaling factor alpha here. So we can use a very simple method, use a closed form linear regression to get the call efficiency alpha. The second module we introduced is a noise addition module. It's a very simple module. In this module, we aim to add some Gaussian noise to the modified signal in the time domain. And what we expected is that this weak noise can fill in the position of the deleted component, but not essentially change the distribution for the strong component. This module is based on the hypothesis that the removed component can be seen as a spatial adversarial noise whose effect is to counteract the weak component in the frequency domain. And after we analyze, we find that the spatial adversarial noise also have a similar property with a Gaussian noise of a limited intensity. First, for the adversarial noise, all the magnitude are weak and under a very small threshold. This is based on the design of the spectrum reduction attack. And also, for Gaussian noise, if this noise is of a limited intensity, all the magnitude is also under a small threshold. But the only difference is that in Gaussian noise, all the magnitude are equal to a specific value. But as a defender, we don't know how much frequency components are deleted by attacker. That means we don't know the attacker's parameter, the spectrum reduction ratio used by attacker. So, but many system parameters like the noise level, scaling factor are related to this attack parameter. So we use adaptation module to estimate the component removal ratio used by attacker in the modified signal and use this value to adaptively adjust our system parameter to achieve the optimal performance. In our evaluation, we use 2 data sets. One is TIMIT and one is VCTK. Both of them contains over thousands of audio samples. And we use 2 open source ASR models. One is deep speech and one is CMU Sphinx. And in our evaluation, we use word error rate and character error rate to evaluate the ASR interpretation and use WER and the CER reduction ratio to evaluate the mitigation performance of our system. So in our experiment, we can find that if we use spectrum compensation module, we can decrease the character error rate by up to 86%. And if we use noise addition module, we can decrease character error rate by up to 72%. But if we combine these two modules together, the whole system can decrease the character error rate by up to 88%. And we can also find a similar trend in the word error rate. And another question is that if attackers already know our defense mechanism and they can keep changing their attack parameters, that means could attackers use like the time variance component removal ratio to bypass our defense? Right. We conduct some experiment on this situation. We evaluate the performance of our system under a dynamic attack environment with different attack granularity. And we find the system performance is stable because we find a very interesting conclusion. That is, the attackers also face a dilemma. When attackers use a very small attack unit, they can indeed change their attack parameter very frequently. However, when they use a very small attack unit, they can also decrease their attack performance because when they did some DFT computation, they will have a few DFT units in their computation. Finally, we conduct a recension error analysis. This is my favorite part in this research. Actually, we find the 6 different types of errors in the ASR interpretation. For example, the errors can come from the elision. For example, in this case, "Don't ask me" cannot be catched by the ASR system because of the fast speed speaking. And it usually occurs when the phrase is ahead of this sentence. And also, the error can come from the rarely used word. And it is mainly due to the vocabulary size and the ASR model training data selection. And also, the errors can come from the phoneme level errors, like the consonant errors, the confusion between the mid and need, and also vowel errors, the confusion between the will and the will, and also the shifted phoneme errors. That means a phoneme in a word can shift it to another word to form a new word. For example, in this case, the tooth fairy can be misinterpreted into tooth fairies. And also, the phonemes in one word can be split into 2 words. For example, forgot have been misinterpreted into for that. And final error is come from the NLP inference. In this case, the ground truth audio is she had your dark suit. However, without enough context information, the NLP engine will fix the logic and output she had her dark suit. However, the ground truth audio is clean enough, but the NLP will still correct the logic. But how can this recension error analysis benefit to our research? We actually calculate the proportion of these 6 different types of errors over benign audio, attacked audio, and our mitigated audio. Yes, even the benign audio can lead some errors in the ASR interpretation, and these errors mainly come from the rarely used word. And I just say these errors is mainly come from the vocabulary size and the ASR training set selection. And also after the attack audio contains some phoneme level errors. like the consonant error and the vowel error. However, with our system mitigation in the mitigated audio, both the word error rate and character error rate has been decreased, but this error reduction mainly attribute to the vowel errors. But for consonant errors, it only reduced a little bit. So we think the reason may be because the vowels have higher loudness and a strong signal less, but for consonant, they are harder to be recovered because they are light sound and have a short duration. And for takeaways, to mitigate the spectrum reduction attack, we propose a system called acoustic compensation system that contains two core modules. One is a spectrum compensation module, one to recover the missing component from the remaining one, and another module is a noise addition module, try to improve the voice recognition robustness by adding some small perturbations. And we also introduce an adaptation module to estimate the attacker's parameters and adjust our system parameters for better performance. And we also find the ASR, the A system is also stable to adaptive attackers, even though the attackers already know our defense mechanism, because attackers face a dilemma. A small attack unit can can help them increase the frequency can increase their parameter changing frequency, but can also decrease their attack performance. And finally, we conduct a recension error analysis and find that the audio attacks mainly generate some phoneme level errors. But after our mitigation, we find some the vowels are very easy to be recovered, but for consonants, they are harder to recover in our mitigation. And currently, we did not find any other method to recover the consonant right now. And thank you. And if you have any questions, you can ask me.
Questions? Okay.
Thank you for your presentation, and I think your defense is comprehensive and reasonable. I'd like to know about your spectrum reduction attack. It seems it's just like a non-targeted AE attack, right? I want to know how to create such spectrum reduction attack. Should we do like gradient-based optimization, or randomly just remove some frequency bands? Thank you.
Yeah, for the spectrum reduction attack, actually, this is an attack that proposed in the IEEE XNP in 2022, I think. It's from University of Florida. And they did not name this attack, but we named this attack as a spectrum reduction attack because of the method. And in this attack, we did not need to use some gradient descent algorithm to find some optimal solutions. We just need to set a threshold and keep increase the threshold until the ASR misinterprets the result. So it's a...
Okay. Oh, it works like the non-targeted AE attack?
Yeah. It's a very naive but very effective attack. And we did not need to use some machine learning techniques. But the idea is very similar to the adversarial machine learning, and the effect is also similar.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Any other questions? Yeah, I guess I can ask one. So particularly so connected to Xingfeng's question, right? So I guess in general, your methods, do you think it can also be applied to spectrum addition attack, right? Because now you're pitching it from the angle of a reduction, right? I guess in addition, probably there also are some correlations in the spectrum that domain, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you think-
Yes. Actually, for the spectrum, like as you said, the spectrum addition attack can be seen as like the reduction or inverse of the energy from the spectrum, right? So actually, it indeed can work for the spectrum addition attack. But in my slides, the spectrum addition attack is dedicated for the attackers that is additional frequency component out of the voice bound, like is high frequency component, and cannot be heard by humans, but can change some interpretation of the ASR system.
Sounds very good. Maybe the NDSS paper next year. Okay, let's thank the speaker again.